Good, and inhale, open up. And exhale, come forward. And inhale, open up. Exhale, come forward. From here, bring the hands up. Exhale, soft fold. So bend your knees and lay your rib cage down onto your legs. Let that sensation just stretch out your lower back. Relax your head. Good. Now from here, keep your and just gently set your on your tailbone and just pull your elbows up toward the ceiling. And from here, your hands are going to go to your shins or your feet or the floor. And I just want you to pedal your legs here, one knee bending at a time. Good. From here, step back to downward dog. Good. Just enjoy a few shoulder rolls there. Pedal your feet. Try to get those heels to the ground. Ears are between the biceps. Hips are up toward the ceiling. Inhale as you come forward into plank. Exhale as you hold your plank. Good. Now remember, we're trying to stay off the floor. So lower yourself down to four-limb staff and then push up into your up dog. So you can do advanced up dog here where you lift those legs. You can also keep it a little softer or even go less and bend your elbows in that cobra pose. You do what your body needs you to do. Good. Come up to tabletop. Good. And sit back into child's pose. And then come back up to tabletop. Good. On your inhale, get your balance. Exhale, lift your left leg and your right arm. Bird dog or extended table. Now exhale, draw your knee to your elbow. Round the spine here and push away. Inhale. Exhale, reach in and inhale. Exhale, reach in and exhale. Exhale, reach in and exhale. Exhale, reach in. Inhale out there. Really try to reach. Two more. Good. Set your hand. Roll up onto your shins and step forward with your left leg. Good. Let your hips come forward. Big breath up here. On another exhale, just gently turn toward your left leg. And then inhale back up to the center. And exhale towards your right leg. Counter revolve. Good. Set your hands on the floor. Now you're going to step in, but only halfway. So lift your back leg and step halfway in. This is a split leg fold. So both heels are down. And I want you to imagine someone's just gently behind you, pulling your hips toward the back of your mat. Try to straighten your legs. If you need to come up a little bit to your shin or something like that, feel free to do that. Take a long breath. Let it out. And now inhale. Step and put the feet together. We're going to lift into a standing extension. So the purpose here is to get your rib cage off of your hips. Take a breath. And then drive the ribs farther down the front of your legs. Relax your arms, your shoulders, the crown of your head. You take your breath all the way to your lower back. Let your breath move to your hamstrings. And hands to the floor, walk back to downward dog again. And again, roll your shoulders. And pedal your legs. And find your plank. Inhale, chaturanga. So lower down and then sweep up into your version of this spinal extension here. Inhale, sit back. Knees toward the outside of your mat, toes towards each other, child's pose. And come up to tabletop. Make sure those knees are right underneath the hips and your wrists are directly under your shoulders. On an exhale, on an inhale, lift your right leg and your left arm. Reach out. And this exhale brings us in, curl that spine and reach away. Feel the hips, the pelvis, going toward the belly button and the ribs. Go with your breath, exhaling each time you go in, inhaling when you go out. Give me two more, wherever you're at. And from there, set that down, roll up onto your shins, and this time we'll step forward with our right leg. Push the hips forward, lift, relax those hips. Find an inhale, and exhale, turn toward the right side. Inhale. Exhale, turn to your left. Good. And hands to the floor. And you're going to step in halfway. Both feet are down. Pull back into your hips. Split your fold. Good. On an inhale, lift into that standing extension. Good. Prepare the body here. Inhale. Exhale. Relax down over your legs. And make sure that the crown of your head is going toward the floor. We tend to kind of look up and we look at our feet. Try to imagine looking down past your legs. Good. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. All right. Good, we should be a little bit warmer now. So go ahead and take a big long shoulder roll. And then you're gonna set your hands, fingertips down on your hips. Good, open up your body here. Try to squeeze your elbows together behind you. They don't know they can't touch. Good, keep your jaw relaxed. You can, if you want to. Good, and release. Now, take a breath. I want you to bring your hands together in prayer, but I want you to push your hands together. Push those hands together. There's $100 in your palm, and if it falls out, it's mine. So push. Good. Instead of having your thumbs on your sternum, take your hands slightly off so that it's all in the chest there. Pull the core in. We're going to sit into chair from here. So really think about pressing the palms together. Now we're going to move with this a little bit, just with the palms. You're just going to point your hips forward and push away. But as I push away, I'm still squeezing my palms together. And then I'm coming back in. Exhale. Inhale. Keep pushing. Exhale. Remember, you got that $100 bill in there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Stay here in your chair. And we're just going to take the right elbow to the left leg. So revolve your chair with prayer hands. Okay, I'll look down at your feet. Find your right one. And then don't move until you are ready. Step back to revolve lunge with prayer hands. Take your time looking up at that left elbow. Can you still squeeze in with those palms? Think about your hips dropping farther and farther toward the floor. Back knee is strong. Good. We're going to take our right hand to the floor, take your left leg, and step back. So now we're in a side plank. And you've got modifications for this. You can keep both legs straight. You can just drop the bottom knee. That's your modification. Or you can even just side plank with both knees. But a side plank is not this, where my knee is over my hip. I want to be out, not back here. So make sure you make that adjustment. Good, and come to plank. Good, now we're going to do that four-limb low staff, so you're not going to the floor. Change it to your knees if you need to. Hold your elbows by your side. Stop right there. Take a breath. Exhale, push up. Drop. Yep, so it's kind of like you're going halfway down. Hold. Take a breath. Exhale up. And down and hold. Take a breath. This time, sweep the body up into your up dog. Good. Bring yourself up onto your tabletop here. Good. Good. Extend your right arm and your left leg. So right now you should have your foot pointing to 6 o'clock and your hand is pointing to 12 o'clock. Draw that out to like 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So to the angle. Now come back in. Go to the angle and come back in. Go to the angle and come back in. Go to the angle, come back in. And angle, in, angle, in. That heel is driving out. You have one more. And down. Keep your hips up, knees under the hips. Walk your hands forward. Drop your heart to the floor. This is playful puppy. Nice stretch in the shoulders there. Good, and walk that back up. Tuck your toes. Downward dog. Drive the heels to the floor. Hips up high. Spread out those fingers to support your wrist. Drive the fingertips and your thumb into the floor. When you're ready, lift your gaze and step forward with your left leg. Good. Turn your right foot. That's your back one. And we'll cartwheel up here into warrior two. And so your shoulders are directly over your hips. So find your hips and make sure you're not surfing where you're kind of leaning over. Imagine someone pulling your right hand backward and pushing your right hip in. Good. Good, take a breath. Inhale. Set your left hand on your back. Now, I want you to take your right hand and just set it across your face, a little bit different than usual, and just brace your tricep. You're going to inhale here. Exhale, lift to the ceiling with your hand, and then inhale back down. Exhale, and inhale. Just some unweighted tricep work here. Try to touch your back each time. Wherever you're at, just give me two more. Now take a breath and pull it all the way into that reverse warrior with arm stretch here. Open this up. Palms are up here. Kick that right hip away. And over you go to triangle. Good. This is a release pose today. So really embrace this. Relax. Feel your breath opening your rib cage. Keep your weight in your legs, not that bottom hand. Good. You can soften your left knee if you'd like. Unhinge. Now take your left leg, that's your front one, and just heel toe yourself out wider. Good. We're going to take this knee forward, palms down, squeeze behind you. Ribs are off of the leg. Now, if this is too much pressure, look, I can take same arm and leg. I can reach back with just one side and have a little support here with this leg, all right? And of course, we'll switch sides. Good, now we're gonna do a little bit of pulsing here. We're gonna go up and then come out to the side and go up. Go back, up, side, up, back, up, side, up, back, side, up, back, up, side, side, up, back, up, side, up. Hold it back there and bring your hands to the floor. Woo! Now try to pull those hips back. You might get your legs straight. You also might need to come up a little bit, and that's okay. Make sure you stay off of your knee though. Let your spine round here. Separate those shoulder blades. Enjoy this stretch in your hip. Good, turn your back heel up. Take a step in. Lift into your standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees and unhinge. Good. Inhale up. Push the palms together and have a seat in your chair. All right, so this time our movement's going to be a little bit different. This time you're going to turn your palms down, but you still got to push. Push down, up, and turn up. Down, turn up. Down, turn up. Reach just a little further than you think you can with those arms. Two more. Good, take a big breath. Good, and soft fold down under your legs. Good, rest your hands on your back. Good, and we'll bring those hands to prayer. Take your left arm to your right leg. Keep those hands pressing together. Try to keep your knees together. It's easy to kick one leg out. Really try to focus on squeezing them and making them together the same. Good, now look at your feet. Lift your left leg. Don't move till you are ready. Back into that revolve lunge with prayer hands. Easiest way to lose your balance is to move when you're not ready. The hips drive toward the floor. You can do this on your knee if you need to. Good, and set your left hand on the floor. Step back to your side plank. Body is long here. You can take that modification of a knee down if you need to. Think about pressing through all 5 fingers. One more inhale. Exhale, come to your plank. Good. We're going to do that low staff again. If you need to come to your knees, do that. But make sure you're not back through the hips. You are forward with the hips. Take a breath and sink down to that low staff. Exhale, push back up. Inhale, hold, you're off the floor. And exhale up. This one we sweep up into up dog. Hold, take a breath, and then exhale and come up. Good, find your tabletop. And this time we lift the right leg out to 6 o'clock and the left arm out to 12. Your foot is flexed there in the back. Try not to turn out. Find that little lift in your core. Just slightly draw your pelvis toward your belly button. And here we go. We're going to go out to 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And then come back in. Out. And in. Keep your breath moving. Out. And in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. And in. Good. Set that down. Keep your hips now over your knees. Walk your hands forward. Drop your heart to the floor. Push your shoulders out of your ears. Good. And bring yourself up. Go ahead and find your downward dog. When you're ready, lift your gaze, step forward with your right foot. Turn your left and make your way up to your warrior two. Good. So make sure that your right foot is to the top of your mat and your left foot is sideways. Right. Now, if you did the other side last time, great. If you're accidentally on the wrong side, just make sure you don't do the same side twice. Ooh, my heart rate's up. All right, come up. And I'm just going to grab my triceps. So normally I'm up here. I'm just going to be here. And I'm going to touch my back. Push that left hip in. Take a breath. Exhale. Lift. Then touch. Feel that little stretch. Then exhale. Big squeeze when you get to the top. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale up. Inhale in. Squeeze those legs. Exhale up. Inhale in. You have two more. Exhale up. Inhale in. And exhale up. Now inhale and wrap that to your reverse warrior with that arm stretch. Straighten your legs. Palms are up. Kick your right hip or your left hip away and hinge over to triangle. Remember that your bottom arm is relaxed. So yes, it's touching something. It might be on your shin or the floor, but what it's not doing, you're not kickstanding onto that leg. It's just barely balancing. See, I can hold my pose and still lift my arm. So if you're on a block, that's fine too. Just don't lean into that arm. Let your body open up with your breath here. Good. You can soften this leg if you want to, unhinge. Take your right foot, your front one, whichever that is. Walk it toward the side of your mat. Good. Now, get your hips, your core engaged. Reach over into this extended warrior. Palms go back. Good. Now, last time we pulsed up and then we moved to the side. This time we're going to stay back and then we'll move to the side. So we're going to go up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Get your neck long. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now go to the side. 1, 2. Little pulses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back. We're doing it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and collapse. Straighten your leg. Woo! Just in case you didn't notice your leg was working. Round the spine. Allow the shoulders to rest. And let that hamstring stretch. Good. Lift your back heel to a lunge. Take a big breath and step in. And find your fold. Good. Bend your knees and unhinge. All right, we go a little deeper into the hips in this one. That was a request. But we're also going to finish off the arms. It's not my fault. All right. All right, take a breath. Exhale, hinge and fold. Lift as you inhale, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Good, step back to downward dog. Good. Now on an inhale, come forward into plank. Turn to your left, right arm stays down. Open up to side plank. Modify this to the knee if you need to. Now we're going to add a little rotation for our core and arm here. So we're going to turn the body, reach through, and come all the way back up. So if you're on your knee, you're just doing the same thing. Now I know you feel your arm, and that's great. But focus on your rib cage turning as well. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. You just have 2 more. Inhale, exhale up. Ooh, yeah, core. And up. Plank, put your knees down. Now walk your hands away. Good. Now, we're just going to touch the elbows down and bring them back up. All right, so we're going to do level 1, everybody, on this side. We'll have the option of level 2 on the next side. Lift, down, push your shoulders up, down, push those hands into your mat. Up, down, up. Y'all thought we were going to forget the triceps, didn't you? 2 more. Down, up, down, and up. Walk your hands in just a bit and take yourself up into downward dog. Good, here we go. Come forward, turn to your right. So now your left side is down. I'm doing the knee option here. Straight legs are fine too. Inhale, reach under, turn the ribs. Exhale up. Inhale, reach through. Exhale up. Inhale, reach through. Exhale up. Ooh, I feel my arm. Hang in there. Inhale through. Don't speed up. Inhale through. Exhale up. Inhale through. You got 1 more. And bring yourself back to your knees. Now, we're going to do that elbow drop again. You can do this again. If you want to up it a level, you're going to relax down dog your feet. So my legs aren't straight. So I'm on my feet now, and my knees are up, and I'm going to drop my elbows again. So you pick your option, knees down or knees up, but your legs aren't straight. Down and up, down and up, down and up, down, woo, up, 2 more. down, up, down, and up. Sit yourself back to child's pose. Make your hands prayer and try to set that prayer on the back of your neck. Ah. Good, and release that. Great job. All right, tuck your feet and go to downward dog. And when you're ready, take your left leg forward. So we're in a lunge here. Good. Now drop your knee. Relax your back foot. So push the top of your foot into the floor. Good. Now I just want you to walk your foot just a little bit wide enough that your both shoulders can go to the inside. So this is lizard pose. And we're just going to do a little variation here. All right. Most of you have seen this. I'm going to roll open. So relax your hip. So now I can see the bottom of my foot. It's like I stepped inside and I'm looking at the bottom of my foot. Keep your hips pushing forward. We tend to want to back them up here. So here's where we're going to add our movement. We're just going to go back and forth. I'm going to put my hand on my knee. You do not have to. You can just stay here. I'm going to come in and then relax out. In and relax out. And you can pick the lower version. Courtney's got her elbows on a block and she's still doing that motion. So there's another option. Couple more. Good. Come back to your lizard. Lift your back foot. We're just going to take this front foot all the way up to a three-leg dog. Enjoy a couple of breaths here. Drive that right heel down. And then you'll take that left leg forward, but this time under you for pigeon. Now, flex your left foot. That's the one that's in front of you. Flex that foot. So draw your toes toward your knee. And you want to try to square off your hips with the top of your mat. Now, if you have a knee injury or hip or anything, you can come down to the hip. Just know that if you're on your hips are probably not square. So it's a different stretch, but it's a great modification. If you decide to come forward onto your elbows or your heart down to the floor, make sure that your weight is still in your back foot. So you're pushing down, pushing backwards, getting a sense of somebody putting their hand on your tailbone and pushing it down and backward. We don't want to feel like we're rolling over the shin. Good. On your own here, I want you to take 5 long breaths, letting each one out like a sigh. Good, and just slowly walk yourself up. Good, from here, lift your back foot. We're gonna set the knees back and then walk your knees out as wide as they'll go. Big toes are going towards each other. So you're kind of in this kneeling middle split. Yes. Now keep those cheeks, not these, going towards your heels. And sit forward. Push back into your hips. This is why the child's pose. Good, and walk that back up. Excellent job. Tuck your feet and lift to downward dog. When you're ready, step forward with your right leg, and we're in a lunge here. Good, release that back leg, top of the foot to the floor. Good, and walk your foot just a tad bit so that your shoulders can go to the inside of your leg. Good, now you do have the option of keeping that back leg lifted. My problem with that is I tend to engage the hip flexor too much rather than releasing the hip flexor forward like I'm doing right now. So in my opinion, it's better to let the knee down. Unless you're working the quad, then you can let it go. All right, if you're ready, pick your option. You don't have to do what you did on the other side. Roll outward into that lizard variation and bring it back in. So really explore the thigh bone here, your femur. Feel that moving within the hip joint. We're not really forcing anything. We're just letting the natural range of motion work here. This is a great exercise if you've had hip issues or any hip surgeries. Good, never push uncomfortable. So stretching where you feel a stretch is very different than moving into uncomfortable. Good, just two more wherever you're at. Probably have noticed that this side might be different than the other side, and that is okay. Good. Reset, tuck your back foot, and then take your right foot up into a three-leg dog. And enjoy that left heel driving to the floor. Open your shoulders toward the floor. And on an inhale, bring that foot under you for your pigeon. Now this side might be completely different than the other side, but what I want you to do is to avoid judging. Just let it be where it's at. It is what it is. Don't forget to flex the front foot. Keep the weight behind you. And slowly bringing yourself up. And you're going to step back and take your knees wide again. Good, as wide as they'll go. Good, now I just want you, this is what we're changing. If you need to turn sideways on your mat, you can. Now you're going to take your feet, which are in towards each other, and I want you to bring them out. So you should be able to look past, and your heels are farther away than your knees. Yeah, this is frog. Now you probably feel this push forward. Push against that push forward, and then sit back. So you're pushing your hips back. Good. Make sure that you're pulling your belly button up toward your spine, so we're still supporting the back there. Good, walk up to your hands. Let your feet come back in toward the center. Good, now we're gonna walk our hands over to the left. Now lift your right foot. Push your heel to the ceiling. Ah. Come back, take your time, guys. Stretch. Go to your right and lift your left heel. Woo! And come back center. Take your time. Come around to seated and put your feet together. Good, just take a moment to rock the rib cage. So the hips are staying on the floor, so I'm not doing this. Just rock the rib cage. Feel that lengthening in your lower back. Good, now take 2 fingers and big toe hold your big toes. That's why it's called the big toe hold. And just put your heels on the floor. Good, now some of you are gonna fully straighten. Some of you are not, and that is okay. I don't want you to let go of your feet. Only walk them out as far as they will go, and just work on walking the hips back toward the back of your mat. Keep going. Let your rib cage fall toward your thighs. Good, from here, wherever you're at, just walk yourself up just a little bit. You can walk your hips back just a little bit further. Take a breath. So this is just a seated extension, preparing the body, lifting the ribs off the hips. Exhale, see if you can fold a little further. There's no tension in the shoulders or the back here. Rather than feeling like you are lifting your back toward the ceiling or lifting your back toward the back of your mat, focus on pushing your rib cage toward your legs. Good, and walk yourself up. Gather up your legs, roll yourself back. Good, now let's stretch those arms because we worked them. Go ahead and put your feet down and lift into a bridge. Good. Now you're going to take your left arm, take it below you, underneath you, palm down across your lower back. Exhale and lower that down. Good, now just relax as your shoulders sink toward the floor. Now instead of reaching up for the opposite ear like we normally do, take your right hand palm up and open it out at about 45 degrees, like you're making half of the letter Y. Take some deep breaths here. Nice release for the back as well. Good, on an exhale, lift your bridge and let your arm go. Good. And now we'll take the right arm underneath, palm down. When you're ready, let that go. And then bring that left arm up, palm up. Pushing the shoulders toward the floor. Feels really good to be still for a second. And lift your bridge. Now take both palms up by your side and lower your bridge. Good, now you can let your knees fall together here, or you can let those legs come all the way out into corpse pose. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just begin to pay attention to your breath. Allowing your breath to move all the way down through your body. Notice your jaw relaxing. Try to feel like you're in complete control of your breath. Draw down into your belly with your breath. Feel the widening of your rib cage, relaxing there, your back, your tailbone, your lower back. Feel your shoulders melting toward the floor. Now really take some time for yourself to feel your arms. Let your arms be heavy here. Just thank all those muscles for the work that they did. Let your legs be. Just relax your hips open. Good. And when you're ready, just take a moment, draw your knees into your heart, and give your legs a big hug. Take a couple breaths there and allow your arms to reach and stretch there. And when you're ready, roll to one side, take a breath, keeping your body soft, allowing yourself to come to seated. And sit however you're comfortable once you get to seated, so you can stretch your legs out straight. I'm in easy pose. You can do lotus or half lotus. But keep your body soft and just begin to drop ear to shoulder here. Relax your hands onto your legs. It doesn't matter if you're palm down or up, whatever works for you, but let your shoulders be heavy and just begin to take the head around. Try not to force at all past normal range of motion. And then when you're ready, switch sides. And then begin to roll your shoulders. Breath again, inhaling on the rise and exhaling down. Good. Now, on the next inhale, come up, release your hands, put them behind you, and lift your heart toward the ceiling. And release. Oh, that felt good. Inhale up. And exhale to center. And God bless you guys. Namaste. Awesome job today. Great job. Thanks, Jennifer, the arm suggestion. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be around for a couple of minutes. I hope to see you Friday, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Jonathan.
Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.